It's Bubba Rocks Media. I'm Cheryl Bubba Mann, and I've got another exciting new band for you guys from the US, and they are so unique, standing out from the crowd and rising very fast. Welcome in Young Medicine. Guys, welcome to the show. Good to
Thanks
have
for
you.
having us.
Look, I found you guys on Instagram, and I was blown away. You guys are also rising quite fast. I've noticed that. But it actually, there's a saying that it says it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And that's kind of spot on with you guys, considering you started around 2016. And just for new fans watching and listening, can you give us a bit of background? Like, is it true, Josh, that you and Brett stole Michael, your drummer, from another band, which is classic band behavior? You know, drummers are hard to get. Is that true?
It's kind of what you got to do. I mean, Michael, you can elaborate.
Yeah, no, it's true. I played in another local metalcore band from Kansas City. And yeah, I did double duty for what, 2 years or so until that band dissolved. But yes, it is true. 100%.
How did
we didn't like give them ultimatum or anything. We just like
read my mind. Like, how did they
the other band just stopped playing, right?
Right, yeah. So it was, they were like, hey, they got me for a tour as a fill-in, and then I did that tour, came back, and then they're like, hey, you wanna stick around? And I was like, yeah.
Right.
So here we are. Yeah,
awesome.
It was great.
And then, like, because this is something that the new bands that I talk to, they kind of struggle with this as well. You know, it's the band lineup, and it's the bass player and the drummer are the hardest to get. You know, you guys are rare breeds.
True.
But like, see, for the band name, I always love to know a wee story behind the band name. Like, is there one, or was it just some random decision and that was it? Because it's something else that a lot of bands do struggle with, especially at the start, you know, coming up with their band name.
So this is going to be the most uneventful, unfulfilling answer you've ever heard. Our first manager that we had right before Michael joined the band, actually, we were trying to come up with a band name, and we came up with a list of names. He didn't really like any of them. He's like, how about this one? And we're like, let's roll with it. And it's because it has multiple meanings. It's like music can be like medicine, it can be healing for the youth, or it can be like a narcotic for the youth, like whatever you want it to mean. But it's to the point where I don't think about the name that much anymore. I don't think any of us do. We're not like, this is a great band name or anything. It's just kind of what we are at this point.
Yeah,
it's like our own names. It's like, you know, we don't sit here and think of, you know what I mean? It's just kind of is what it is.
It has always been.
Sound wise for you guys, I'm intrigued because I'm always looking for bands that are unique, you know, that stand out from the crowd, that aren't sounding like everybody else, and that is so you guys. The synths, obviously, and the metalcore and then also, like, I get the 80s retro, which I'm down for. And I'm curious for you guys, who would be your top, say, 3 favorite bands and or movies that have helped, you think, to help create and shape the sound of your band?
The movies thing really only applies to, I feel like, maybe the synth aesthetic, because we borrow so much from kind of the retro vibe.
80s, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So but it's not really any specific movie, maybe kind of like Blade Runner or something. Just for like the synth soundscapes, or it's what we do is more of a modern idea of how you remember that kind of synth sounding versus how it actually sounded when you listen to it. But as far as like the instrumentation, for me, I would say maybe like The Midnight, if I'm just gonna name a synthwave artist, and then My Chemical Romance as far as like choruses and stuff go, and insert any metalcore band for everything else. Classic metalcore, not whatever the new Octane stuff is, but yeah.
Yeah, golden age metalcore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I
Absolutely.
get most of my drumming influence comes straight from there.
Yeah, your drums are insane. Like really good. But look, we're going to play a song. And it's a mouthful, so I am going to have to read it because I'm old and will forget. But it's a great, great song title. Being alive is pretty much a constant stream of embarrassment. Great tune, dudes. Actually, the songs are really well put together. Like you can hear the hard work and the quality that goes into them. And I'm curious if either of you guys remember the very first song that you ever wrote. Ever. Was it good? Was it bad? Do you still have it?
For this band or just in general?
In general, you could have been 12 years old.
I mean, I remember writing crappy songs in early high school. Because yeah, believe it or not, I tried to write songs back in the day, and I wasn't very good at it. So drums definitely were a good fit for me. Because like Josh said, you know, I kind of get the blueprint. And obviously some things have to line up, like a chug or breakdown or whatever. But then, like you said, fills and things like that, I have a lot of freedom with. So that's kind of my writing these days, is kind of just my parts where I can. And I spend so much time just on the drums that I don't really mess with anything else. Because I get asked a lot, like, do you play anything else? Or like, you know, and I'm like, I don't really have time, you know. I would. I love keys. I like guitar too, but I don't have time to, you know, really.
You have a microKORG laying around there.
I do. I still have a microKORG. I'm never getting rid of that thing. I'm never getting rid of it. I've gotten rid of a lot of gear, but that's gonna stay with me forever. I mean, I have a couple guitars too, but they sit there and look cool, you know. So I would love to pick them up someday, but I just spend so much time on what I actually do, you know. But it's songwriting has always been one of my weak points, I guess. It's just I can write a short phase or something like that, but trying to put it all together into an entire song is kind of weird for me. So I have huge respect for Brett and Josh when they, you know, just bust out a whole full track and they're like, check this out. It's like, that's sick, you know.
Well, the annoying thing is like we'll come together with a song and you might spice it up a little bit and we record it and release it, and then we'll do like a full tour or two later, and I'll be like, what did you do on the drums right there? And you're like, I don't know, I've been messing with that. And we'll be like, yeah, I wish we could go back 2 years ago and throw that in the song or something.
Right. That's the other thing too, is people ask about, you know, like remembering songs and like playing it live or whatever. And I tell them, they always look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I don't think I've ever played a song the exact same way twice, like ever. Especially live, like, and I mean, it's not going to be vastly different. Like if you were sitting there watching, you probably wouldn't notice, but like maybe a cymbal hit or a fill is slightly different, you know. So I'm very kind of organic and fluid with it. Obviously where it can be, some things have to line up, but I'll just kind of have fun with it. And then like Josh said, we'll be like, well, that was sick. Like wish that would have been in the song, you know, which happens a lot, but yeah, what are you going to do?
That'd actually be helpful for the new kids as well, because that's like something that maybe you wouldn't even think of, you know? So
yeah. I talk to, you know, I also work in a music shop, so I get a lot of questions about touring and playing and things like that. And what's a big question is, you know, playing accurately or playing the same, you know, playing consistently. And I'm like, dude, I just kind of have fun with it. I don't even think about like note for note playing the same thing every time, because a lot of kids get hung up on that. And I think if they, you know, don't play it exactly like, or they ask about playing, like learning another band's song. Because when you're starting off, you know, you learn all kinds of songs from other artists that you like. And they're like, you know, was this the exact fill? This the, you know, the exact note or whatever? And I'm like, dude, as long as it's close enough and you're having fun with it, like that's what I care about. I'm not like, I need to hit exactly every note, you know? So I prefer just kind of adding your own spice to it or whatever and having fun with it, and then it relaxes you and you play so much better when you're not overthinking it. So that's kind of my advice
into like the structure of the song.
Yeah right
it's like a real human way to look at it too, because you absolutely nailed that, because I get so many DMs from kids and, you know, they'll say the same thing, that they feel like everything has to be perfect and exact. You know, whereas it's not like that when you're out live, you know, and even audiences and fans, they enjoy it more when you're enjoying it and you're not like
exactly.
Nailed it.
Michael, you were talking to me like somewhat recently about like how you're kind of tired of it even being like that for like recordings, or like everything is too locked now.
Yeah.
Too locked down.
I mean, I think in general these days, music is like, I don't want to say overproduced, but it's almost too perfect. You know, like when we were growing up in the early 2000s, like, I mean, bands weren't recording with a click track, you know, it was just like, all right, ready to go. I mean, you know, and you know, like even big bands like Bring Me the Horizon, like Ollie's been on interviews recently talking about, you know, their first albums. And he's like, you know, there was no click, there was no structure. It was just like, you know, ready to go. And, you know, obviously there's some parts of that where you look back and it's like, but then at the same time, it was more organic and fluid. And it was more about, you know, feel. And you could tell they were just having fun and playing music. And now it's like everything is so kind of mathematical, you know, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good music out and coming out now. But we talked to Josh and I've talked recently too, like you said, about it almost being sterile. You know, there's almost not as much feel to it or emotion to it. You know, it's just kind of like, all right, here's music. It's like, cool, like it's good, but something just seems kind of missing, you know. And I think that's kind of like you said, like the human aspect to it. So
it sucks because our music is like almost the epitome of overproduced in the sense that we do it ourselves, so we're allowed to touch it up over and over again for months until it's exactly how we want it. And I love how it sounds, but I'm starting to like wonder, it's like, is there a different way that we could do it a slightly more raw? Brett's not on the call right now, and he's the one that mixes it, so he'd probably push back on that. But I don't know if raw is the answer for. I don't know if raw is the answer for us, but I'm sure there's some. I feel like our songwriting, for the most part, is kind of weird in a way that circumvents it. But I don't know. There's probably a middle ground.
Yeah. Well, these days, you know, with everything being digital and computerized, you know, a lot of people write demos on computers, obviously, because it's easy. You can write every instrument, you know. But, you know, back in the day, bands would hang out in a practice space and just kind of jam and be like, you know, wait, what was that? Like, that was sick. Do that again, you know, and then you got a song forming, and it was, like I said, organic, and it just kind of came out. So like, that's, we're kind of losing that, I feel like. And also just like bands in this genre hasn't been as popular in past years, which in the past few years, it's been coming back. You know, you see in like metalcore and deathcore tours playing arenas and things like that, which is crazy, you know? So it's nice to see that coming back. And I feel like kids are actually picking up instruments again. For a long time, you know, everyone wanted to be like a producer, make beats, or, you know, the SoundCloud rapper thing or whatever, which is cool. It's fine. But then, you know, there weren't as many bands or young bands or kids playing instruments. It was just kind of sitting in their rooms making stuff on their computers, which again is cool and is still part of our music and what we do too. But I you know, we kind of missed the old school, like organic way of just jamming and writing and seeing what happens and making crappy demos in your bedroom, put them on MySpace, you know, that kind of thing. So like, but yeah, like you said, there's got to be a good kind of middle ground, because obviously we're still in a digital age. We're still going to use computers and things like that. But writing together, I think, would definitely be a good step, and you'd get kind of everyone's voice all at once in it. So everyone's influences coming together. But yeah.
You're just watching us plan out future band stuff right now in real time.
Going to play another song, and it's actually my favorite one. I had to pick one. I always like to pick a favorite, and this one is it. And we're going to play Emulator.
Liar, liar.
Look, do you guys have a favorite song that you like to perform live, and then one that maybe gives you a wee bit of anxiety? And this is just to prove to kids that if there's a song that's making you anxious that you have to perform, it happens once, even with experience.
No, he's got nothing. He's like, nah.
No, I was deferring to you because I know you have favorite songs.
Because it's changed over the years. I mean, like when UFO Party came out, you know, that one was a little more challenging for me. So that one, I was I wouldn't say nervous about playing, but definitely one I had to actually like think about.
It starts out so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just some of the techniques in there just, took a little bit of time to get down. But now I'm comfortable with it. But it's just like anything, if you're not having to work to improve your playing on the new things coming out, I think you're, maybe doing something wrong. Cause I mean, you should be improving constantly. So you want to push yourself, obviously. So if what you're putting out isn't pushing you to either learn something new or play better or that kind of thing, I think that's how it should be. So at first it's like, oh man, we got to play that live. Like, but then, after a while you will improve practicing it. You might have to learn a new technique and spend some time just working on that one thing for a while. But then after that, it'll make everything a lot easier. And then you'll be comfortable playing it again, just like any other song. And now UFO is one of my favorites to play live for sure. Cause I love fast music, fast and heavy, and that combines a lot of the things that I like. So for sure. So that one, I remember when in the demo stages, I heard it and I'm just like, yes, like, cause
Finally.
because we didn't really have anything quite like that before. And then hearing just that intro and I was like, okay, sick. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to play that. Cool. Okay. But, like I said, after working on it for a little while, you'll get comfortable with it and then get it down and then you just have fun with it. So yeah, UFO is definitely one of my favorite to play live. Other than that, I don't think anything's given me too much trouble recently, but I've been having fun with all the new ones for sure.
I mean, kind of like exactly what Michael said, actually. Like if a song isn't like he said, if a song isn't challenging you live the first time, you probably should step it up. For me, it's more like I write things that I might not be able to sing or perform well live and do like some magic in the studio. And then we get to the practice space. And I'm like, oh, insert cursor. Like I have to do this. And then recently, like when we had a show with the Browning, I don't know if it's early this year or late last year. It was the first show where we played Immolator live. And and there's a part in that song, like halfway through, where I swap off. I give the guitar to Brett, and I take the mic, and I go out front. And I'd gotten comfortable with it to a point where I think I'd be able to do it live. And we'd done it in the practice space quite a bit. And then we get to the show, and I was so out of breath from just running around an actual stage and doing it that I was completely like out of it for like the next song. I wasn't even able to hit like any of the high notes and stuff. I immediately was like, okay, we have this Opal tour coming up. I need to actually do I like lift weights, but I hate cardio. So I was like, I need to start actually doing cardio like every day. And by the time that tour came around, I was able to do it, but I was not expecting that because I'm usually hiding behind my guitar, spinning around, doing like half of a song, not like a full song while running around and actually having to scream in that, which I don't do in any of our other songs. So
that's a big thing for young bands too, is cardio. Like, you don't realize how much it takes performing, especially because if you're doing it right, it takes a lot of energy because you want to be moving around and I mean going crazy because kids come out to see a show, so you don't want to just stand there and do your thing. So definitely being in shape helps. Easier said than done, but it's 100% true and important, and you'll learn that real quick playing shows. It's like, oh yeah,
I always feel I felt way more locked in by the end of like a full tour. I'm like, okay, I can do this. But I know if I like had to do a tour again tomorrow, I'd probably have to start over.
Yeah. 100%.
But like that's great advice, actually. And speaking of newbies, do you remember the first time you ever performed live in front of an audience? Like, did it go well? Obviously, something happened to make you want to keep doing it. You could have been 12, you could have been 15. It doesn't have to be with this band, but just that very first time that you got up on a stage and performed in front of people.
Michael, you go for it.
Man, I mean, there's different ways you can look at it because, like, when you're a little kid, most elementary or grade schools will do like musicals or plays or something. So it depends on how far back you want to go. But
The Christmas program at your school.
Right, exactly. Which I mean, that's performing. I mean, that's technically performing. And some kids might get turned off immediately, be like, "That I don't like that," or some like it. But I mean, first like actual like band. I mean, I was probably 14 or 15, somewhere around there. I mean, first time on an actual stage. I mean, I played a couple house shows, but that, couple friends there. I wouldn't really call those shows. It was more like a practice with friends watching, that kind of thing, But yeah, I think I was either 14 or 15 the first time I actually played on a stage. Then a couple times when I was in high school, but didn't really do too much then. It was really towards the end of college for me that I actually started like playing shows regularly with the band that actually Young Med stole me from. But that was, that would have been like 2014, 15, around there, when I really started to get back into it and start really taking it seriously and trying to do something with it. So that's about when that really started for me. But yeah, like I said, about 14, 15, being on an actual stage playing drums for the first time. And I think it went okay. It was okay. It definitely wasn't smooth. A couple little, start and stops and things like that. But overall, it went pretty well.
Didn't you start on a different instrument in the band, though? I thought you said that.
Yeah, well, when I was like, 12, 13, I wanted to play guitar. And it just, I played one house show on guitar. That's the only show I ever played on guitar. And I did not go.
I hope there's a picture of that somewhere.
I'm sure there is, but I mean, God, that was so long ago. I think I knew about half of each song, maybe. But luckily I wasn't the only guitarist, so I just kind of stood there and I was like, yeah, cool, But it was fun. No one cared. It was at the time it was just cool to be playing music. There was like, oh, cool, like you played that show. I was like, yeah. And then a couple of the guys I played with that show, we started, again, some little band, and the dude that was playing drums was actually a really good guitarist. And we had all the instruments at my parents' house. And one day, we're just kind of talking, and we're like, you play guitar, why are you playing drums? And then I just kind of sat down and started messing around, and it just kind of clicked. Like drums are like, wait, this actually makes sense in my brain, So then we switched, and that was it. And then ever since then, I've been playing drums. So it was, literally just like that. Yeah, it was crazy. Wow. But yeah.
For me, it was, I wanted to learn guitar because my high school freshman girlfriend broke up with me for like an upperclassman who played guitar in a different school. Turns out he played bass. So that's even worse. Yeah. No offense. If you play bass, you keep at it. No one can tear you down. But I learned guitar-ish to a bunch of kind of like early metalcore kind of albums, and went on, I forgot the name of the website, but there was a website where you could search for musicians that wanted to find bands. Do you remember what that? I have no idea. But I found someone in Kansas City that had a band, which is like 40, 50 minutes away from where I lived at the time. And I went and auditioned, and that ended up being a band that Brett, the other YM member, is in. And so probably my junior year of high school, our first show that we played was in a bar and grill called Jerry's Bait Shop. And it was terrible. And a bunch of my high school friends, I convinced them to buy tickets and drive out for it, like a whole hour away. And I'm sure they thought it was terrible too, but I thought it was really cool at the time. And it definitely got me pumped to keep making music. But I'm glad I don't have any videos of that saved, at least.
That you know of.
Right. Yeah.
Well, look, it never put you off, really. So that's the main story behind that. I was forced to get on a stage as a kid for dancing, and I hated it. And now you won't get me on a stage for love nor money. Not happening. Look, we're going to play another song, and we're going with Winter Soldier. There is debate at the moment over music videos and the relevance nowadays. I'm old school. I believe they are necessary. They, from a fan perspective, obviously they help to go deeper really with the band. And from my perspective as someone who promotes bands, it gives me something to show people. And equally, and nowadays it's crazy we even have to say this, but it shows that you're human beings. And then people aren't feeling cheated if they get into a song and then realize they're not human beings. So from all of that, I think it is worth it. But I'm curious from your perspective as a band, because you guys do great videos. Josh, I believe you're the one behind them. They're incredible, really well done. And I would just love to know from your perspective on the whole video making process, do you feel as a band that yes, they're absolutely valuable?
Crazy valuable. The issue is less how valuable they are and more so how hard it is to make them on a budget.
Yes.
Like and like is the in budget versus time, like me editing them versus dropping thousands of dollars for someone else to shoot and edit. And there's all these factors that go into it. Obviously it does not have to take thousands of dollars or crazy editing to make a music video. It just depends on your vision for the aesthetic of the band. Like if you're an up and coming band and you want a more raw aesthetic, you could do a way more DIY looking video with some VHS type stuff that is
true,
great looking, that fits your aesthetic. But when you have some weird like kind of sci-fi type aspirations for the image and you're like, oh, I'm too deep in it now, I have to stick with this vein of visuals, then making a video becomes kind of daunting. But I definitely feel like it's worth it. Not to put too much stock in streaming statistics, but when I look at our Spotify, except for like maybe one or two songs, like all the like the top 5 or 6 are all songs that we've done videos for. So I feel that the YouTube pipeline really helps, and it helps people remember things.
Ooh, that's interesting. It's fascinating, actually, and very helpful. And look, we're going to move on here and play another song. I'm trying to get lots fitted in. We're going with Hot Chocolate.
One more step away, you can finally taste that you've made it.
And I'm going to ask you guys one of my favorite questions to ask a musician. I try to squeeze this into every single interview I've ever done. And it's basically, if you could take Young Medicine to any decade to perform, would you go back in time? And if so, what decade? Or would you take a risk and go forward in time?
Not that one. At least for me. Wait, do we get to come back?
Yeah, you can come back. I love when people go down rabbit holes with me with this question. And yes, but you can only use the technology of the time.
Oh, damn. I was going to say, let's go like Victorian era. Let's go.
That would be awesome.
Oh, you know
Before
what?
you burn it a stick.
Can we bring a generator? Does that work?
Would that work in Victorian times?
Go back to like the Cretaceous area or something.
If we bring a gas powered generator, some gas, however long it gets us, get us through a set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could blow some minds back then. Yeah, we'll be labeled as witches and wizards and whatever. Probably make a new religion.
This is a hard one because, like, let's say we're basing it off of like what would be best for the band. Like, if we went back and did what we do now, and like maybe exactly what we do now at that same quality at like 2010, that would be crazy.
Yeah,
like even
100%.
like something like that. But also thinking what's best for the band, we go forward like a decade, or even like a few weeks and play a show, and you spend your time in the green room looking up like stock statistics and stuff like that. and like world events, like sports games and stuff. And then we come back to here, make some crazy bets. Then we have like unlimited money for the band. So I feel like that would be I know that's not
genius.
The point of the question, but that might make the most sense.
Oh my gosh, that's the best one yet. Yes, absolute genius. Love that.
Oh
See
my
what I mean by
God.
that question?
That would
It's
solve all the
literally
issues that we
that's
have.
Yeah, that is really smart. So if it ever happens, you know what to do. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, we're going to talk about covers. I love a good cover song, and you guys have one by Rockwell featuring Michael Jackson. And it's Somebody's Watching Me, killer tune. And we're going to actually play that in a moment. But I'm curious why that song. Why did you guys choose that one?
I feel like it's just one that we listened to a bunch, maybe semi-ironically at first, but like just a ton on tour.
Mhm.
It's just a banger.
And we
We
did
had
it.
quite a
We did it in like October, like Halloween time.
Yeah,
So
we wanted a Halloween song.
I wouldn't say it's like inherently a spooky song, but
Mm.
depending on how you look at it, kinda, especially if you watch the original music video where the dude's kind of like tweaking out in his house, and it's kind of scary, I guess.
Yeah.
But we definitely put a more kind of spooky season spin on it, just with the feel and the sound of it, and then especially with the video we did for it.
Mm.
So that kind of all went together. So we definitely played up on that. But that's actually one of my favorites to play live too. That one's really fun.
I forgot about that. We need to bring that back for live.
Yeah, 100%. No, I like when we tour in the fall, we usually break that one out. And I have a lot of fun playing that one because again, it's pretty fast. It's upbeat, almost like punky, pop punky. At least with the
Really
drums. And I have a lot of fun playing that too. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite covers we've done because we've done a couple, but this is, if not my favorite, definitely one of my top favorites for sure. Yeah.
And like I just have this thing with cover songs. Like my favorite one of all time is Wicked Game by Him. I think it's like so perfectly done. It stays true to the original, but they make their own. And like you guys did a really great job with this one. And I'm just really curious as well. Do you guys have a favorite cover song of all time? Or am I just one of these weird people that just gets into things? There's bound to be someone else that has a favorite cover of all time.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough. I know there's several I like. Like in our genre, the band Our Last Night,
Has
they
covered
started
every
off-
song.
right. Like they started off, obviously doing their own thing, but then I think they put out like a cover of some pop song and then it blew up and they're like, all right, let's capitalize on that, which, hey, sick, good for them, and then they've done like, I don't want to say nothing but covers because I know they've done originals, but they've done so many covers. But again, in our genre, I think if we don't stay Still Fly by Devil Wears Prada,
I was about to say that.
we have to, like, for our generation, that's probably like, one of the most well-known like metalcore covers of a pop or rap or whatever song ever. Every scene kid knows that one for sure.
I'm sure there's cover songs that I enjoy more than that, but that is legitimately the only thing that popped into my head.
Right. It's just, we all
so
know
iconic.
it. And that's like, 100%.
I saw a post talking badly about the Punk Goes Pop or Pop Goes Punk or whatever it was the other day, and all the comments were like, yeah, this was terrible, except for this song.
Nah, there were so many good ones.
There were
I love Punk Goes Pop. Another one, Silverstein did Runaway, and that one was one of my favorites for a long time. It's been a minute since I listened to it, but I remember when that came out, I was like, yeah, because they're one of my favorite bands of all time too. But I think they did a really, really, really good job with that one. But yeah, Punk Goes Pop was a super fun time. It's hard not to love it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I still have the jewel case CD somewhere.
Yeah,
Love
hell
it.
yeah.
But like covers are a good idea as long as you just don't do too many of them, like you just mentioned there.
Right.
But yeah, because they can help. They help with him as well. They do help with bands. But we're going to play your cover now, and that is Somebody's Watching Me.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy.
So we're actually going to be playing out with the new song Neon Death, which is a collab. And I'm curious from your perspective, how important is it nowadays to do collabs as a band, really, just for the new kids listening and watching?
Very. I mean, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's I've always kind of been not resistant to it, but but it had to make sense. And then I just saw it working so well for other groups. I'm like, you can retain your artistic integrity on your albums or your singles or whatever you want, but at a certain point, it's okay to just kind of branch out, do features on things, have fun, and reach new people that you wouldn't have reached otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically doubling your audience, you know, and obviously you're going to be collabing with someone that's usually in the same vein as what you do. So there'll be some overlap in fans, but for the most part, you're really doubling your reach. And, you know, and I mean, you know, Josh mentioned features too, and a feature and a collab are usually two different things. You know, like Young Medicine could have a full song and have, you know, a featured vocalist for a couple bars, you know, and that's still a Young Medicine song featuring whoever. But a collab is like a full collaborative effort between two artists, you know, making a full track. And that's when you get the full, like, this is one group effort, which is really cool. Because like we said, you know, you double your audience essentially. You get other influences in there, which, you know, you wouldn't have on your own. So you can usually get a really cool, unique sound. So yeah, I've been a fan of them. I'm definitely not on every collab for sure, because a lot of times it's with an electronic artist or something like that, and Brett and Josh will do vocals and that kind of thing, or some synths or whatever. But I definitely enjoy all the ones that they do, we do, whatever. I think they're great, you know. The more people you get your stuff out to, the better. So
yeah, exactly. That's why this one kind of blurs the lines a little bit between a feature and the collaboration, because Sphinx hit up our band Instagram like a year ago saying, I have a track, would you want to put vocals on it? And I said, this isn't really something that fits. Like, I tried coming up with a melody over it. He's like, this isn't really something that works for me vocally, but we would love to work with you in the future. And he came back to me, I think one more time after that, where it wasn't quite something that would work out. And then this most recent one, it was more kind of cyberpunk. There was another vocalist on it already doing almost all of it, and he just wanted vocals. So it's not like a true collab in that sense. He wanted like verse vocals, and there was a part of it that had a chord progression that I could write a chorus over. So I took it and I kind of chopped it, pitched it up and down into something that was a little better for my voice, sent it back over. I was like, will this work? So I wrote a little bit instrumentally, as far as rearranging it, but it's basically just a vocal feature that I think works really well, and did kind of rework the song around it, but it's not I wouldn't say it's a full Young Medicine collab, but there's definitely a lot of Young Medicine in it. Mostly just me, and I think Brett did some harmonies underneath my voice.
Awesome. And you're right, it is like important, I think, as well, to do that kind of thing, because it does get you out there, and it's also a camaraderie within fellow musicians as well. You know, there aren't competition, we're all in it together, you know, in the music world to help each other. So I love that. Is there a dream collab that you would love to do one day and be so unrealistic with it?
Bring me? I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I don't know, my brain works a little differently as a drummer, because I'm like, you know what I mean? But Brett and Josh both being guitarists, vocalists, producers, that kind of thing, I know they have more freedom with that. With me playing drums, I'm like, I'll collab with anybody who wants drums on their track. You know what I mean?
That might maybe some more like pop or electronic then, and then we bring the band element. That way, like, it is more of a full band type collab would make more sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Love that. All right. Well, look, we're coming to the end of this, and I'm curious how you guys feel your legacy for the band would be in 20, 50 years from now. What do you hope fans are going to feel? You know, because music carries on even after we're gone.
If I'm still alive, I'm sure we'll all still be doing this, and we'll be getting a lot of jokes about the band name. That's that's the legacy.
Yeah, any artist with young in their name. It's just like
when are we switching that up? I don't know. It's obviously we would love to keep growing. I mean, and do bigger and better things at all times. But we're also to the point, at least personally, where we aren't having to spend a ton of our own money doing it. It is at least like pretty self-sustaining.
Yeah.
That like I don't see a reason that we would ever just stop putting out music and having fun playing shows. Like it is serious and it's a business. Like we pay taxes, but as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and you feel like you can make stuff that people haven't really heard before, like bring something different to the table, then you probably will just keep going forever.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know what else any of us would do if we weren't doing this.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, yeah, this is what we do. So we're in it now.
Exactly.
No
too late now.
All right. Well, look, just finally, guys, what have you got coming up in 2026 and beyond that you can share if you have anything as yet?
Just a bunch of new songs that we're kind of sitting on, fleshing out like the final touches on, and then a handful of new songs that are less completed that we need to kind of workshop through the band, ideally, and then get those recorded and out to you. So after this one, expect a bunch of singles probably in a row.
Exciting. Well, look, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Here it is, Neon Death.